The marble floors of Pinnacle Enterprises shimmer with the cold brilliance of inherited wealth and deep-seated bias. Emily Thompson strides through the revolving doors at 8:47 a.m., her understated gray suit a calculated defiance in this fortress of opulence. Dawn's light betrays the weary creases around James's eyes, a black janitor whose frame sags as William Carver, the billionaire titan, sweeps past him in the lobby. "Good morning, Mr. Carver," James ventures, his outstretched hand a fragile spark of hope after 20 years of being unseen. Carver's Italian leather shoes don't falter. His voice slices through the lobby's buzz like a blade through silk. "I don't shake hands with staff." The words linger, a public wound, as onlookers bury their faces in their phones. James's hand falls, but his pride holds firm. Emily, stationed by the elevators, observes with a face as impassive as stone, cataloging every detail. Carver's scornful gesture, the security guard's fleeting pity, the receptionist's nervous chuckle. Her grip tightens on her weathered leather portfolio, where papers that could topple this empire lie in wait. For now, she's just another black woman in a suit, bound for a meeting no one deems significant. She presses the elevator button to the executive floor. What unfolds when prejudice collides with true power will leave you stunned.
The conference room on the 40th floor reeks of privilege and polished leather. Emily enters at exactly 9 a.m., her movements precise, her confidence a quiet storm. Her suit, department store gray, minimal jewelry, hair in a sleek bun, is a deliberate mask of understated competence. "Excuse me," hisses Sarah, Carver's blonde secretary, her smile dripping with calculated venom as she blocks the door. "Lost. The cleaning crew meets in the basement." Emily's voice is calm, unshakable as a still lake. "I'm here for the merger talks. Thompson, representing a key investor." Sarah's laugh cracks like shattering crystal. "An investor? How quaint." She doesn't budge. "Do you even have an appointment?" Inside, 12 white men in suits worth more than luxury cars discuss Pinnacle Enterprises' culture of excellence, a veiled code everyone pretends to ignore. Wall charts reveal a stark truth. 98% of executives are white men, 2% white women, the rest a statistical afterthought. "Gentlemen," CFO Richard Morrison declares, adjusting his Harvard tie, "any investor must align with our commitment to Pinnacle's elite reputation. We can't allow just anyone." His words freeze as he spots Emily. The room chills, conversations cut off mid-breath. 12 pairs of eyes follow her as she claims an unoffered chair, opens her portfolio, and begins scribbling notes. "Who let her in?" Richard's tone sharpens like a honed knife. "Sarah. She claims she's with an investor." Sarah lingers at the door, her voice mocking, as if indulging a child's daydream. VP Edward Lang, eager to tout his British roots despite his surname, leans in. "Which firm?" Emily slides a plain business card across the table. "I represent parties eyeing your $2 billion capital need." Richard snatches the card, holding it like it's tainted. Thompson, investment representative." He flicks it away. "No firm, no credentials. We're being played, folks." The room erupts in uneasy laughter. Whispers of security lapse and diversity stunt ripple through. Emily writes on, her pen carving words with surgical precision. "Perhaps," she says in a quiet moment, "we should address why Pinnacle Enterprises ranks dead last in Fortune 500 diversity." The laughter dies. Richard's face flushes crimson. "That's confidential data." "It's public record," Emily counters, eyes fixed on her notes. "Along with your 3 ongoing discrimination lawsuits and last year's EEOC probe." Edward slams his fist on the table. "How dare you!" I dare because 2 billion dares, Emily says, locking eyes with them. My clients worry about risks. Lawsuits bleed money. The door flies open. William Carver storms in, his presence draining the room's air. His gaze pins Emily, his lip curling in disdain. What's this? Diversity charade? Did HR send you? He doesn't wait for a reply. My apologies, gentlemen. Our inclusion efforts sometimes overreach. Emily taps out a swift message on her phone, the faint whoosh of sending barely audible. She rises, smooths her skirt, and faces Carver head-on. Mr. Carver, I've heard tales of your leadership, she says, her smile cold as steel. Especially your handshake rule. Carver circles the table, a predator sizing up prey. His French cologne, ostentatious and overpowering, precedes him. The board leans back, clearing the stage for their king's familiar ritual, crushing outsiders who dare step out of place. My handshake rule, Carver smirks, voice thick with mockery. Didn't know the janitor's rumor mill reached these heights. Information spreads, Emily retorts, resuming her seat with deliberate poise. Like your 2% minority hiring rate, Mr. Carver, in a city 40% black. Richard jumps in, shielding his boss. Our hiring prioritizes excellence. We won't dilute standards for quotas. Fascinating, Emily says, extracting a single sheet from her portfolio. Your excellence. Last year, Pinnacle rejected 432 qualified black applicants, hired none. Qualified is subjective, Edward snaps. MIT grads, Harvard MBAs, engineers with decades of experience, Emily replies, her voice steady as a drumbeat. Subjective indeed. Carver's amusement vanishes. He looms over her, hands braced on the table. Listen well, whoever you are. I built this empire from scratch. I decide who belongs. And you? He straightens, adjusting his Armani suit. Don't belong. The room holds its breath, awaiting the usual collapse of outsiders. Apologies. Retreat. Emily produces another document. The Riverside Project. You need $2 billion to finish it. She slides it forward. Without it, Pinnacle defaults on its loans. How does she know this? Board members exchange frantic glances. This isn't public. Richard snatches the paper, his face draining of color. Where did you get this? Does it matter? Emily checks her phone, a reply waiting. She smiles, her first genuine spark since entering. My clients will fund the full amount, one condition. Carver's laugh is harsh, disbelieving. You? With $2 billion? What investors would trust? He stops short. No need to finish. Those who prize profit over prejudice, Emily says, rising again. You have 1 hour to review our terms, especially on hiring practices and board diversity. Sarah bars the door again. Security's coming. Perfect. Emily glances at her watch. They'll escort me to my next meeting with your board of directors. Impossible. Carver's voice cracks. The board isn't meeting today. They are now. Emily's phone buzzes. She flashes the screen. A conference call notification with names they all know. 51% of your shareholders called an emergency session to shield their investments from discrimination risks. Chaos erupts. Richard demands to know how she reached shareholders. Edward cries corporate espionage. Carver stands frozen, his empire teetering. In 20 years, no one, not least a black woman in a modest suit, has challenged him like this. You're bluffing, he says, conviction waning. Mr. Carver, Emily pauses at the door. You don't shake hands with staff. Call this a hostile takeover. No handshake needed. She exits, leaving pandemonium. In the hall, she passes James with his cleaning cart. Their eyes lock. She nods subtly. He stands taller. The executive elevator plunges into turmoil. By the time it reaches the conference floor, Carver's rage has hardened into calculated malice. He storms back in, where Emily waits as promised, the board forming a semicircle of privilege behind him. I know your kind, Carver sneers, his voice a theatrical whip. Affirmative action, darling. Diversity token who thinks she's earned a seat. Let me school you on reality. Emily sets down her pen, poised. You waltz in, tossing numbers from some activist blog. 2 billion? He laughs, his lackeys echoing. The only billions your kind know are welfare checks. Mr. Carver, Richard tries to intervene, sensing a dangerous line. No, Richard. She needs this lesson. Carver leans against the table, cruelty casual. Think Obama's presidency means you belong in boardrooms? Was your grandmother a maid? Your mother, what? A typist, at best. Emily's hands stay folded, her breath even. His barbs slide off like rain on steel. Actually, she says softly, my grandmother was a neurosurgeon, the first black woman from Johns Hopkins. My mother built 3 companies. Lies, Carver spits. Your people exaggerate. Hair salons become corporations. Nurse aides turn neurosurgeons. Sarah giggles, a sound that fractures the room's tension. Even Edward shifts, uneasy. Carver presses on, relishing his stage. Want to know why I don't shake hands with staff? I know where those hands have been. Section 8 slums, food stamp lines, probation offices. William, Walter Henderson, an elderly board member, clears his throat. Maybe we should, what? Pretend she fits here? Carver's face blazes. She's a fraud, probably printed those papers at a copy shop. Check her bag, EBT cards and court summons, I bet. Emily types on her phone. Authorization confirmed. Execute full acquisition protocol. Calling your baby daddy for backup, Carver looms over her. Or your parole officer. This is what happens when standards drop. Delusions of grandeur. The conference phone rings. Walter answers, his face flashing confusion, shock, fear. He whispers to Richard, who checks his phone and gasps. Emily speaks after minutes of silence. Mr. Carver, you asked where my hands have been. She rises slowly, radiating unyielding grace. They've been signing billion-dollar checks. Security, Carver roars. Remove her. Trespass, fraud, whatever it takes. 3 guards appear. 2 white, 1 black. The black guard, Thomas, hesitates, struck by Emily's calm. Officers, Carver points. She's running a scam, claiming fake investors. A classic con on thriving businesses. Ma'am, Thomas says respectfully, I need identification. Emily hands over her driver's license and a document. Thomas reads it, then again, his hands trembling. Problem, Thomas? Carver's voice drips menace. Do your job, or join the unemployed? Sir, Thomas's voice breaks. This is from the Federal Reserve. She's listed as, I don't care if she's the Queen of England. Get her out. Emily locks eyes with Carver. Your procedures target one type of person. But do you know who you're facing? The lights flicker. Phones erupt with alerts. The market scents blood. Pinnacle's stock price on Richard's laptop plummets. The room becomes a battlefield of egos and panic. Richard's fingers race across his keyboard, grappling with the market collapse unfolding live. Down 12% in 10 minutes. Trading's insane. Carver grabs Emily's arm. Thomas steps forward. Carver waves him off. What did you do? I existed. Emily stands firm, unflinching. In your world, that was enough. Edward's phone rings. He answers, pales. Channel 9's breaking news. They've got video. He glances at James, standing in the doorway, phone aloft. On Edward's screen, the lobby scene replays in vivid clarity. Carver's I don't shake hands with staff loops relentlessly. Worse, the video is a montage of Carver's racist rants, secretly recorded by employees over decades. His words blare from multiple devices. This is legal. Carver releases Emily, turning on James. You're fired, sued, ruined. James stands firm. 20 years, Mr. Carver. 20 years invisible. Until now. Younger executives scatter like roaches. Only the core remains. Richard, Edward, Sarah, and 3 board members paralyzed. Walter checks his phone, each update leaching his color. She can't be, he mutters. Impossible. Carver, clawing for control, addresses the room. Whatever her game, we don't negotiate with terrorists. Richard, call the lawyers. Edward, get PR to bury that video. Sarah's updating her resume. Aren't you, Sarah? Emily cuts in. Tough market for executives tied to federal probes. Federal probe? Richard's voice splinters. Emily pulls out a thick folder. 2 years of discrimination proof, hiring, promotions, salaries, hostile workplace. James wasn't alone in recording. She spreads out evidence. Emails with Carver's racial slurs. Spreadsheets showing black employees paid 40% less. Terminations with damning patterns. Deep fakes, Carver bellows. Fabrications! No court would... The Southern District of New York would. Emily slides a federal subpoena forward. They're keen on your excellence. That excludes entire groups. Chaos engulfs the room. Board members shout, muttering about shareholder suits and personal liability. Pinnacle Enterprises, Carver's monument to exclusion, collapses live. Twitter ignites. Carver racist trends worldwide. Ex-employees share horrors. Clients review contracts. The stock plummets 20%, 30%, 40%. Stop it, Carver pleads, his facade cracking. What do you want? Money? An apology? I'll shake the janitor's hand. His name is James. Emily's voice slices through the panic. James Wilson, father of 3, Wharton MBA, stuck as a janitor because you gate-kept black talent. James steps forward. My son asked why I let you demean me daily. What could I say? Dignity doesn't pay bills. Carver's phone rings. Robert Langley, board chairman. Carver answers, hands shaking. Langley's voice, icy, booms through the speaker. William, emergency board meeting. Don't come. Robert, you can't. We can. You're suspended, pending investigation. She orchestrated this, Carver jabs at Emily. Market manipulation, check her ties. Langley's tone mixes resignation and awe. William, she's Emily Thompson. The Emily Thompson, Sarah gasps, her phone shattering on the marble floor. A small world's end. The truth hits like a tsunami. Walter's banking app confirms the unthinkable. Peak Equity Partners, his voice quakes. Majority shareholder of Pinnacle as of 9:47 a.m. All eyes turn to Emily, unchanged in her modest suit, yet radiating unveiled power. 51%, she says softly, each word a thunderclap. Bought through shell companies over 5 years. Your golf club pals, Mr. Carver, eagerly sold shares for their own ventures. I funded them. Carver slumps into a chair, his empire, built on bias, now owned by those he scorned. The irony burns. You're lying. The filings are legal. Emily's lawyer, David Klein, famed for crushing corporate bigotry, lays documents before the stunned board. Ownership spread across 73 vehicles, below reporting thresholds until Ms. Thompson took control today. His presence explains her surgical strike, not vengeance, but justice, cold and precise. 15 years ago, Emily rises, her voice heavy with history. I sat in this lobby. 23, Harvard MBA, summa cum laude, finance star. She gazes out the window at the city. I interviewed for an analyst role. You, Richard, dismissed me, saying it was filled. Then interviewed 3 white candidates. Richard shrinks, recalling the brilliant young woman he ignored. I founded Peak Equity with $1,000, my grandmother's savings. Emily faces the room. She died believing I'd honor her sacrifice. Today, I have. Her phone buzzes. She answers on speaker. Ms. Thompson, the Federal Reserve Chairman says, we're ready to approve the $2 billion stabilization package, contingent on leadership changes at Pinnacle. The room reels. She wasn't bluffing. She is the power. Thank you, Jerome, Emily says. I'll oversee the transition. She ends the call, surveying the shattered egos. Carver looks broken, aged a decade in an hour. His team wears the stunned look of men watching their world implode. James, Emily turns to the janitor in the doorway. Your new salary is $200,000. Director of Facilities and Equity Compliance, starting Monday. James's knees buckle. Thomas steadies him. Tears streak James's face. 20 years of suppressed dignity now seen. The rest of you, Emily's gaze sweeps the room, have 24 hours. Resignation letters on my desk. Severance hinges on cooperating with federal investigators. You can't, Edward stammers. I own this company. Emily's words pulse like heartbeats. I can. Sarah raises a shaky hand. And me? Emily eyes the secretary who laughed at cruelty. Standard severance. Use it to ponder why you found humiliation funny. Pinnacle Enterprises, built on elite golf games and bourbon-soaked deals, on exclusion cloaked as tradition, crumbles in minutes. Its prejudiced foundation buckles under justice's weight. This is illegal, Carver whispers, clutching at straws. Market manipulation, improper takeover. My lawyers are prepping your defense against federal charges. Emily checks her watch. Call them. The FBI raid starts in 40 minutes. Tax evasion, embezzlement, wire fraud. She recites his crimes like a grim litany. Thought discrimination was your only vice? Exclusion casts shadows for your other sins. FBI agents burst in, badges flashing. Carver's hands tremble as his rights are read. Handcuffs snap shut, metal on wrists that shunned James's hand. As they lead him out, Emily delivers her final blow. You don't shake hands with staff, William. Good news. Where you're headed, handshakes are the least of your worries. The room clears, leaving Emily and James. She offers her hand. He takes it. Firm. Equal. Miss Thompson. James's voice cracks. Why all this? For us. Not for you, James. With you. There's a difference. She smiles, warmth reaching her eyes. My grandmother said, when they lock the door, buy the building. Today, we did. William Carver's empire unravels like a meticulously planned implosion. Each pillar of his privileged life collapses, toppling decades of prejudice. Hours after his arrest, the FBI unseals a 127-page indictment. Financial crimes spanning 20 years. Offshore accounts in the Caymans, bribes for permits, $300 million in tax evasion. But the civil rights violations steal the spotlight. Decades of discrimination, captured in emails Carver thought buried. I always wondered, Maria Sanchez tells CNN, how a modern American company could feel like a plantation. Now we know its leader thought himself invincible. Richard Morrison tries damage control, addressing reporters from his lawyer's office, his Harvard tie gone, eyes hollow. I followed corporate culture, he begs. You don't get the pressure. A young black reporter cuts in. We get it. You chose complicity. By day 3, Richard faces charges. Emails show him flagging black applicants as culture risks. His assets are frozen. Harvard drops him as a lecturer. His wife files for divorce, fleeing with their kids to Connecticut. Edward Lang's downfall is different. Investigators uncover his side hustle, selling Pinnacle's secrets to rivals. Discrimination was just one facet of his corruption. Taiwan rejects his extradition plea. He's nabbed at JFK with cash and a Taipei ticket. Sarah's tale becomes a social media warning. Her Instagram, flaunting luxury and tone-deaf, earn your place posts, fuel civil suits. Her laughing at Emily goes viral, 10 million views in 2 days. No firm hires her. She retreats to her parents' Ohio basement, corporate dreams shattered. Carver's ruin grips the nation. In jail, awaiting trial, he watches his empire reshape. Pinnacle, now Unity Corporation, becomes an inclusion beacon. Stock prices soar as excluded talent drives innovation. The trial is riveting TV. Carver, in orange instead of Armani, faces his victims. A janitor with a PhD, cleaning toilets because Carver blocked black promotions. A secretary who recorded his "Know Your Place" rants. A guard who saw him humiliate for sport. James Wilson's testimony devastates. With quiet strength, he recounts 20 years of slights. Christmas parties, where Carver skipped maintenance staff bonuses. A dog bite Carver laughed off, saying, "He only bites the help." Meetings where James stood outside glass doors, visible but excluded. "I stayed," James tells the court, "for my 3 kids. Each morning I'd wear my uniform, hoping today might change. It never did, until Emily Thompson proved it could." Judge Patricia Kim, daughter of Korean immigrants, delivers a verdict that shakes corporate America. Guilty on all counts. $500 million in fines, 25 years in prison, assets from discrimination forfeited. Carver's lawyer seeks minimum security. Kim denies it. Mr. Carver loved hierarchies. He'll enjoy starting at the bottom. 6 months later, an Emmy-winning documentary captures Carver's fall. Its defining scene: Carver mopping prison floors. A black inmate, jailed for a minor drug charge, offers help. Carver flinches, then accepts the bucket, hands shaking. Learning empathy in shackles, the narrator notes, is still learning. Unity Corporation, under Emily's helm, dominates its sector. Its workforce, 60% people of color, 50% women, sparks innovations Carver's uniform leadership couldn't dream of. The Riverside Project, finished under budget, houses communities Carver shunned. At Unity's first diversity summit, Emily launches the James Wilson Scholarship, full business school rides for employees' kids, no matter their role. James, now equity director, earning more than Carver's jailed CFO, weeps openly. "Mr. Carver taught us," Emily tells employees, "what not to be. The worst examples can be the best teachers." Carver's first parole hearing is denied. In his cell, he's halfway through a mandatory social justice degree, grappling with institutional racism and privilege beside black and brown classmates. "I worked hard," he tells them. "So did we," his cellmate, serving 20 years for drug sales to fund his mother's cancer care, replies. "You failed upward. We just failed." Carver's son, running Unity's satellite office, visits monthly, learning Spanish and Mandarin for a new business world. "Dad," he says, "I'm sorry it took this to see clearly, but we do now." Carver nods, understanding dawning. Beyond the prison's visiting room, America inches toward justice. Inside, one man pays for stalling it. On Carver's conviction anniversary, Emily addresses Unity's shareholders in the room where her power was once mocked, now filled with America's diverse faces. She wears a simple black suit, modest by choice. "A year ago," she begins, voice rich with hard-won wisdom, "many called our transformation revenge. Today, let's name it restoration." The numbers dazzle. Unity's profits tripled. Innovation ranks top 5 globally. Employee satisfaction leads the industry. But Emily knows numbers skim the surface. Carver built walls between executives and janitors, Ivy League and community college, skin tones and opportunity. Those walls, she pauses, caged him as much as others. She reveals the unseen, nights studying Pinnacle's structure, not for vengeance but insight. How exclusion breeds inefficiency, how bias isn't just wrong, it's bad business. Excluding talent by race, accent, or zip code doesn't just hurt them. It robs us of their innovations, solutions, futures. James Wilson nods from the front row, his rise from unseen janitor to leader, inspiring others. A cleaning lady with an engineering degree now leads product development. A trilingual guard heads global expansion. Pinnacle believed some deserve less by birth, Emily says. Unity believes everyone deserves a shot to become their best. She acknowledges the struggle. Culture change demands facing hard truths, admitting inherited advantages, fostering tough talks. Some old staff left, unable to adapt. Others found leadership when merit trumped connections. Justice isn't revenge, Emily's voice softens. Revenge hurts those who hurt us. Justice heals the systems that enable harm. We didn't buy Pinnacle to punish Carver. We proved inclusion is strategy. Results prove her right. Unity's diverse teams conquer markets Pinnacle ignored. Their housing project wins awards while turning profits. Their equity fund launches 37 minority businesses. I think of Carver, Emily admits. In prison, he's learning what we showed by example. Worth lies in character, not color or class. His path is harder, but it's a path. She unveils Unity's newest move, hiring ex-inmates, even white-collar criminals, post-sentence. Redemption, she insists, must be universal, even for those who denied it. Some staff resist working with former oppressors, but Emily models grace. My grandmother, the neurosurgeon they said couldn't exist, taught me. At the top, don't pull up the ladder. Build more. Unity runs America's largest diversity training, not token workshops, but transformative education on inclusion's business case, diverse perspectives innovation boost, untapped markets potential. Companies ask how we changed so fast, Emily says. Simple. We saw diversity not as a burden, but a treasure. She ends with a story. Last week, a young black girl toured Unity. In the elevator, she asked, "Did you buy this whole building?" "More than a building," I said. "We bought proof. You belong anywhere your dreams go." The girl's reply sums it up. "Then I'll buy NASA." "Dream bigger," Emily urged. "Build something beyond NASA." The meeting ends in a standing ovation, but Emily points to her team. 40% people of color, 53% women, 12 nationalities, every background. American business's future stands before shareholders, proving excellence wears many faces. Pinnacle fell mistaking uniformity for unity. Unity rises, Emily declares, embracing differences as strengths. Alone in her office, Emily gazes at the city. Somewhere, Carver serves time. James preps for a board meeting. A young dreamer like her aims higher. Justice, she knows, is a direction, not a destination. They're all moving forward. The story fades, but its echoes persist. A hiring manager weighs 2 resumes, Harvard versus community college. Carver's ghost whispers, "Pick the obvious." New wisdom counters, "Choose potential." You've seen prejudice meet power, discrimination face resolve. This isn't just Emily's triumph or Carver's fall. It's about daily choices, to judge by looks or heart, to build walls or bridges, to shake hands or turn away. Tomorrow brings your Carver moment, a chance to choose. Share this not for drama, but necessity. Every company has its pinnacle. Every field hides talent. We all hold power to uphold bias or unleash potential. The future belongs not to those hoarding opportunity, but to those harvesting it everywhere, in boardrooms, boiler rooms, corner offices, corner stores, every hand offered in respect, no matter the skin. True power isn't in looking down, but lifting up. Your choice awaits. The world watches. When prejudice knocks, will you answer with Carver's scorn or Emily's strength? Wall or ladder? History forgets those who cling to the status quo. It honors those who shatter it.